Hey guys, TMF, and unfortunately gotta make another video on the good Dr. Buttar, the so-called truther doctor, because unfortunately there are still many people confused as to the whole point of why those of us are sharing this expose and psyop of Desiree Jennings in relation to Buttar. And I noticed that the video expose I put up is being shared, making the rounds, being mirrored, what have you. And I noticed people's confusion here. And what they're confused about is that they think that we're in fact saying that because this girl is faking it, that makes vaccine-related injury not legitimate. Wrong. You could not be more wrong. We are in fact saying quite the opposite. We are saying that this story was orchestrated from beginning to end with the media's involvement to in fact discredit the reality of vaccine injuries and ailments. Do you understand? That's what we're saying. That's what this story and psyop accomplished, and it accomplished it quite well. Again, to reiterate and recap for those of you unaware, initially this story came out in 2010, and the media had mega, nationwide, worldwide viral coverage of this woman. And initially, they had the whole world feel sorry for this woman, right? And that she had a legitimate flu shot reaction. But guess what happens? Okay, guess what happens? A very, very sinister bait and switch. They had the media come out, and then 3 weeks to a month later, specifically Inside Edition, come out and expose her as a fraud, right? Okay, so Inside Edition, it goes and supposedly quote unquote monitors her and stalks her, and sees that she's living life normally, walking, talking normally, and of course they approach her at the grocery store parking lot, and of course quote unquote catch her by surprise, and they say, "Oh, you haven't returned our calls," all contrived, scripted bullshit. She then speaks in foreign languages, right? And says it's because of the flu shot reaction. And then at the end of the encounter, she walks sideways back to her car, in which case, of course, Inside Edition points out, curiously, she starts walking sideways back to her car after we just saw her walking normally. You see, that's what they did. That's the game that was played. They made themselves appear to be these heroes, like they're genuinely being real journalists and exposing this girl as the truth as a fraud for the people. Okay, that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted people to then think, oh, this girl is obviously faking, and she's just faking it for attention or whatever, and it's a hoax by this girl alone. And thus making vaccine-related injury a joke. Do you understand? That's what it did. It planted that seed into millions of people, okay, to think that vaccine-related injury is not a reality and legitimate. Okay, so people from that point forward who hear about vaccine-related injuries and people who claiming injury and serious injury, they think they're bullshitting because of this woman. Do you get it? They think of it as a joke. Boy who cried wolf, because of this story. That's what it accomplished. And then, of course, of all the people in this world, of all the doctors in this world, the quote-unquote alternative doctor in this narrative who pops up just so happens to be the very same truther doctor currently mega viral in this whole pandemic truth opposition, right? The great Buttar. I can't believe it's Buttar. You just cannot make this shit up, people. But again, guys, in this narrative, in his interviews, he claimed to have not only cured this woman, but that she was, that she almost died in his care. He said that. Bullshit. We now know the whole thing was scripted psyop from start to finish, meaning he was a willing participant in this deception, in this evil, sinister story that manipulated millions of people. Okay? And if you want to continue to jump through hoops and obstacles and mental gymnastics to continue to defend this obvious deceptive liar, what if he was deceived in this story? Then he would never have said she almost died. Hello, it was all an act. It was all bullshit. Therefore, he is lying to you. Point blank, period, end of story.